Hello, my name is Carina Rose. I'm an architect, ecologist, and artist here in Montreal, Quebec. I'm standing in the middle of a green space that's in the center of a bustling Montreal. It is like the Woodbury Park Cemetery, a haven for city dwellers to get away from the pollution and noise of the urban life. And it is like the cemetery, a diverse flora and fauna space. And it's here that I thought it would be great to talk a bit about bioarchitecture and the future of architecture. As it's very hot out, I'm going to head into the shade of one of the structures in the garden. See you there. The garden I'm sitting in is a vegetable garden and a wild space in the middle of the city. It is gardened by the local community, and the rest changes every year and is semi-wild. And it reminds me a lot of the Woodbury Park Cemetery, which I visited with my dear friend Jeanette in November of 2024. These spaces are so important to how we are going to develop and continue to think about our urban spaces as the climate changes and as resources become more and more unavailable. The Woodbury Park Cemetery is modeled on some of the ideas of John Claudius Loudon, who was first to write about the cemetery design. And I think it's interesting that his thoughts about cemetery design could be applied to bioarchitecture. He thought of the park as a place that is public to walk, reflect, learn about horticulture and botany, meditate. Cemeteries integrate elements of nature and culture. There are built elements and natural elements that need to be maintained and planned. And as places that contribute to the biodiversity, how could we make our buildings as diverse and full of life? In the cemetery, as in this park, but more so in the cemeteries, we're really reminded of that cycle of life and death and the cycle of the seasons and of the day. And these are important to think about when we're building. How is a building over time going to last? What kind of cycles of life are going to be lived in it? What kind of cycles of the environment do we want to experience when we're in our building? The light, the air, the temperatures. I think the parks and cemeteries have really important roles to teach us of what an urban space that is connected to nature can feel like, and that our buildings should be oases just as much as these spaces. When we enter a building of bioarchitecture, it should feel like we're being comforted and fed and nourished by our environments. Woodbury Park Cemetery is a wonderful example of volunteers collaborating and maintaining a space which is integral to the town of Tunbridge Wells and sets an example of what kind of spaces are possible when we dedicate ourselves to nature, biodiversity, and beauty.